Hello, tabletop baseball fans. This is Tribe Fan here, giving a recap of a couple of games that I've played. As you might have known, I rolled a game for the Royals and Twins, but that was only one game of a three-game series. And I am also in the middle of playing a three-game series. Now, I played two of them, but I won't recap the third one because I haven't played it yet, and that will be played as a full game on this channel. All right, we'll get started with game one of the Royals versus Twins. And in this game, it was Ian Kennedy versus Ricky Nolasco. And the Twins get out in the bottom half of the first with one out. Joe Mauer singles. He goes to third on a Miguel Sano single. And then Byung-Ho Park, with his 13th RBI of the year, brings home Mauer, and the Twins get out to a 1-0 lead. However, that would only last until the top half of the second. Kendrys Morales with a one-out double. And then Salvador Perez with a base hit drives him home to tie the game at 1. However, the Twins would use the big inning to pull ahead for good. The bottom half of the sixth, a one-out single by Kurt Suzuki. He goes to third on a single, and then Lorenzo Cain with a two-base error, which is very uncommon for him since he's a very good fielder, scores Suzuki for an unearned run and moves Santana to third. And then with two outs, Miguel Sano with a 3-run homer puts the Twins ahead 5-1. The Royals would get closer. Paulo Orlando with a leadoff double in the top half of the eighth. He scores on an Omar Infante single. And then Kendrys Morales with a solo home run off of Brandon Kinsler, who came in to get the save. He eventually does. The Twins win 5-3. Nolasco gets the win. He went 8 innings. And then Ian Kennedy gets the loss. All right, Game 45 was on this channel. It's a 2-part video. Have fun with it as you wish. I will post the results. In Game 3 of this series, which is Game 46, it was Dylan G versus Tyler Duffy. And we go to the bottom half of the third inning. Danny Santana with a one-out double scores on a Eduardo Nunez single. Nunez would steal second and then go to third on a Drew Butera throwing error. And then Joe Mauer with a 2-out walk, and that led to Miguel Sano driving home Nunez with a base hit. On the top half of the fourth, the Royals would cut into the lead. Lorenzo Cain with a one-out triple scores on a Salvador Perez single with 2 outs. However, the bottom half of the fourth, Eduardo Escobar with a one-out home run, his second of the year, makes the score 3-1. The Twins would add on to the lead in the top half of the fifth. Leadoff single by Nunez, his second stolen base of the game, puts him on second. Brian Dozier walks to put runners on first and second. And then Joe Mauer with a single scores Nunez from second to make it 4-1. They would add another run when Byung-Ho Park with 2 outs singles home Dozier, and that makes it 5-1. The Twins would pretty much put this game out of reach. Brian Flynn came in, and his program was not very good, for those of you that are Tron fans. Leadoff walk to Suzuki. He got Santana to strike out, but that would be the last out he would get that inning. Single by Eduardo Nunez puts runners on first and second. And then Joe Mauer goes deep over that right field wall by that flagpole with a 3-run homer. And then Miguel Sano would walk. And then Robbie Grossman with another home run. And Jed Yost went to the bullpen to bring in Luke Hochevar. He got the last out of the inning. And that would make it 10-1. The Royals would add 2. Chesler Cuthbert walks, moves to second on a ground out. Butera doubles him home and then would score after a ground out and a pass ball. That made it 10-3. The Twins would add 2 more in the bottom half of the 8th inning. 2-out double by Santana, scores on a triple by Nunez, and he would score on a wild pitch. That would make your final 12-3. Duffy went 6 innings. Buddy Boshiers pitched the 7th, and actually, Boshiers pitched the 8th. Duffy pitched 7, and then Jepson would pitch the 9th to complete the game. All right, we'll go to the first game of the Mariners series. And this game was Pat Dean versus King Felix, and the Twins were wondering, where's your crown, King Nothing? As well, he did all right, but he was not the king today. We go to the bottom half of the first, and the Mariners actually get out early. Robinson Cano and Nelson Cruz with back-to-back homers put the Mariners out 2-0. However, that lead would only last to the top half of the fourth. A walk to Mauer, a single by Sano, puts runners on first and second, and then Trevor Plouffe with a double brings home Mauer and moves Sano to third, and then Robbie Grossman brings home Sano with a single, and then Byung-Ho Park grounds into a double play, but another run would score. That would make it 3-2. The Mariners would actually tie the game in the bottom of the fourth. A one-out home run by Kyle Seager, ties the game at 3. And the Mariners would use the long ball again in the bottom half of the fifth. Robinson Cano with a second home run of the day. That makes it 4-3. However, in the top half of the sixth, it all goes bye-bye. Leadoff single by Mauer, a double by Sano, puts runners on second and third. Trevor Plouffe with a sac fly brings home Mauer. That made it 4-4. Walk to Park and a hit batter loads the bases. And then they try to go one more batter, and I had the strikeout pitch. However, since Hernandez was tired, it ends up being a single 2 stars, and that's enough to bring home Sano and Park for a 2-run single by Danny Santana, who was then pulled for Joel Peralta, who got the last out of the 6th. And then the coup de grace for the Twins in the top half of the 6th, with Peralta still pitching. He got the first out. However, a one-out single by Mauer, single by Sano moves him to second. A walk to Plouffe loads the bases, and that would be it. And then Dave Johnson, I think was his name, came in, and Byung-Ho Park, actually Robbie Grossman walks in a run, that walks in Mauer. And then the next batter, Byung-Ho Park breaks out the rye bread and the mustard because it's grand salami time. I know I'll probably try to come up with a different saying, but I love Dave Niehaus for this. That made it 11-4, and that's your final. Pat Dean would go 6 innings for the win, and then King Felix would go 6 2/3 in the loss. All right, game 48, would be Phil Hughes versus Wade Miley. The Twins get out early. Nunez with a single steals second, but Brian Dozier with a 2-run homer puts the Twins up 2-0. They would add on to that lead with back-to-back doubles by Eduardo Escobar and Kurt Suzuki. That made it 3-0. And then Nunez with a 2-run homer. That makes it 5-0, and you thought they'd be on cruise control. And they gave up a run in the bottom half of the fourth. Cano with a leadoff single. He goes to third on a Adam Lind, not the center square, single. And then Franklin Gutierrez, the ex-Indian, brings him home with a single. That made it 5-1. And then on the bottom half of the sixth, it all comes crashing down. Leadoff home run by Cano, his third of the series. And that makes it 5-2. Nelson Cruz with a double. Kyle Seager walks. Lind singles. Let's see. He singles him to third. And then Gutierrez with another single. Clevenger walks to load the bases. And then Luis Sardinas, he decides when the ball leaves the yard and the bases are full, that's a grand slam. And he hits a grand slam of his own, capping off a 7-run inning. Michael Tonkin was the pitcher that was brought in for the Lind single. He gives up all those runs and gets the losses. There would be no more scoring. The Mariners win 8-5. Sorry, let me bring this down. Like I said, Tonkin gets the loss. Miley gets the win. Steve Cishek pitches a scoreless ninth for the save. The Twins record is now 19-29 going into game 49, which I will get to after this video is uploaded. So until next time, may your dice be lively and your rolls be good.